24 minutes before 11 o'clock. We have been doing this show for 16 years, Robin. 16. And we have interviewed, I'm guessing, thousands, probably tens of thousands of guests, right? We have never once, until today, had somebody send us a chocolate candy bar. It's the first time we've had a chocolate candy bar sent to us.
I know, I love that too, and I've been dying to open it. I mean, it's still right there.
So we went on a train ride this past Saturday. It was an old train. They have a special thing they do. I guess they call it a pizza train, and it's in Tavares for those of you who want to know where this is. And it goes over to Mount Dora, which is only 5 miles, but it's kind of a fun little historic thing. And one of the buildings that the tour guide, I guess, points out was an old chocolate factory. Who knew there was a chocolate factory over there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. So we have a guest on the phone. His name is Angus Kennedy. He's known as the real-life Willy Wonka and the world's leading expert on chocolate.
Yeah.
He's the owner of Kennedy's Confections, which is a chocolate review magazine. He's the founder of the World Chocolate Forum. And if before the end of this interview you feel like going to get a chocolate bar, I don't blame you. But you can't have this one. We're going to split it up. The book is called Bittersweet, The Life and Times of the World's Leading Chocolate Taster. It's an honor to have you on our show. Angus Kennedy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Larry and Robin. Well, it's an honor to be here. I'm enjoying your show already. I was kind of laughing already, so you get me in the mood for more chocolate as well.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Well, actually, I'm in New York at the moment, so I'm out here from Kent in England. We're kind of doing a bit of a tour with the book, and it's like a dream come true, Larry. It really is, and I think that's partly what the book's all about: dreams coming true. It's amazing.
So, at what point in the manufacturing of chocolate are you part of it? Do you actually go get is it cacao bean? How do you say the name of the bean that chocolate is made from?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's different ways of pronouncing that word. Some say cocoa, some say cacao. It depends whether you're Dutch, French, German, American, English, whatever. It doesn't matter. But, well, basically, I'm a journalist. So I've been, as you correctly said there, been working on a magazine for many years, like 35 years, writing about chocolate all my life, and been to hundreds and countless chocolate factories. So I sort of thought, God, this is really interesting, some of the things I've seen and learned about what is actually, America is actually the world's leading chocolate market, $22 billion, so you are number one in eating chocolate here. Biggest chocolate market in the world, so it's really quite interesting.
But you had a rocky road to hoe growing up, though.
Rocky Road.
Yeah.
I love that choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because of your mom, and you got assaulted at one point in the book, and oh my gosh.
Wow, what happened?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I think, and it's really strange because I should really be either on a scrap heap, a mental hospital or something. I shouldn't really be here today after what I've been through. But I think that God sentences you to your greatest pleasures, because if you can make your weaknesses into your strengths and overcome things. I didn't really go to school. I didn't really learn anything. I failed all my exams and was a complete dropout and told, you're not going to pass anything. I couldn't even spell. I mean, and here I am with a book that's being toured right across America. I mean, isn't that amazing? So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Robin. My start in life with a dad who died of cancer and then a mum who was an alcoholic. I've literally had some big questions to ask, like, why am I here? What's going on?
Right.
Why am I sitting here learning about Pythagoras' theorem and whether I can climb a rope or have to dissect a rat? I mean, how ridiculous. That's not life. That's not what it's all about.
I credit chocolate with understanding sex. Hey,
I've got a take on that. It's because chocolate actually. Because I've got 5 kids.
Well, here.
I'm not doing anything else.
As far as the differences between the sexes regarding sex, it was made clear to me one day when I was with a couple of women. They were eating chocolate, and one said to the other, "This is better than sex." And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's obviously not the same feeling I get.
Well, I don't know. Well, mine boggles, Actually, do you know what? They did a survey in the UK, and they did actually ask people. They said, what would you give up chocolate for? Okay, so 43% they'd give up booze, 37% they would give up their favorite, they'd give up religion, and 9% actually said they'd give up sex. They would give up sex for chocolate. I think that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
were all women, by the way.
And they didn't ask the blokes either.
So how does it happen? How do the different chocolates happen? For example, if I haven't tasted is this your brand? Is it called Bittersweet, or is that just the name of the book?
Well, the name of the book is called Bittersweet, so that's my book that's just come out this week. And I just thought it'd be fun because I'm a journalist like you are, and we're cynics. Well, you read press releases and oh my God, what a load of rubbish, And I've just become so cynical. I don't believe there's a cure. So I've received press releases to write stories all my life.
Ah, okay.
So here I am thinking, I got to get a story published. So, but I thought the chocolate would be fun. It's just a nice
It is.
Really.
It is. It is a fun
chocolate. You said that was the first time. That's really quite touching.
I like that you always move forward. I mean, you had that statement, botching boring jobs, and people just want to go through life to find something that suits them. And you really are an inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think the book is a bit. Well, you quite rightly got that, Robin. It's a bit more than chocolate, isn't it? I think when people read the book, they hopefully will get the message that it's important to just we weren't born to serve people or to be unhappy. I believe we have a right to be happy, and I do think that some of the things I learned, from the hardships I went through, have enabled me to see things positively. And when you can do that, it's about the emotion and the energy that you give something, which can make you move forward and get you out of a bad position or a job you don't want to do. And oh my God, there's so many people, there's so many problems, and so that was partly why I wrote the book as well. It was just to inspire people and hopefully just make them feel better that they can do something. Because if Angus Kennedy can make it at 50, I'm 54 years old. When I go out with my wife, I can't even read the menu anymore, and I forget the glasses. so if and she's 11 years younger than me, so I couldn't do without her. So, but I think if I can make it at 54, crikey, don't tell me that you can't achieve something when you've only been doing it for 2 years. I mean, it took me 32 years, right, to get a book contract and rejections and God knows what. So,
man, well, we can relate to that. We've had our share of that. Can I ask you something as a taster? Let me put myself in your shoes just for a second. But instead of chocolate, I'm going to be tasting bread. All right. So let's say I'm a bread taster, and somebody says to me, "Hey, I just baked this loaf of bread. What do you think?" And I take a piece of bread and I say, it's not so great. He said, well, wait a minute. Let me put some bologna on it. Now try it. Oh, it's a little bit better with bologna on it. Does the same thing happen with chocolate? Like you get a so-so piece of chocolate and they say, wait a minute, let me put some nuts in it. Does the other non-chocolate ingredients unfairly persuade us all to kind of like that whole Reese's thing? Is the chocolate really good, or is it because there's peanuts and peanut butter in there?
Oh well, yeah. I think are you still with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was that's a really interesting point. The Europe, the chocolate market consists of 33% of all the people will eat a pure chocolate bar, right? In the US, only 13% will eat a pure chocolate bar. So the market is led by products with chocolate in them. So you've exactly got it right. So you've got peanut butter and you've got all sorts of other candy and stuff. So, however, having said that, obviously the US chocolate market is the biggest in the world, 22 billion. That's big.
Wow.
So that's 22% of all chocolate consumed is eaten in the US. But that's because you've got 10 times more people than we have just in the UK.
Yeah, that's true.
Having said all that, that's a really good point. What is I hate to say it, but nuts, nougat, candy like fillers, cream, they're cheap. Okay, so they're just sugar.
I believe that.
But Yeah, so it's high profit. So if you put a nut, I'm not saying a brand here, but it is actually one of your number one brands, and you put a kind of sugar-coated casing over it, that's cheap because it doesn't have chocolate. Chocolate is expensive. You're making profit. So.
Okay, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way before. Yeah.
Well, the chocolate mix too, that's another conversation.
And the people like to try different things, especially at state fairs and things, and you came up with chocolate-covered locusts.
Yeah,
really?
That's right. Yeah.
Talk about putting an ingredient.
There's a chocolate factory in Austria that I've been to, and this guy, he used to be a pig farmer, right? A pig farmer. So he sort of thought, I hate farming pigs. So now he's instead of feeding like the old confectionery and old chocolate bits to the pigs, now he's putting pigs in his chocolate, and he's selling chocolate with pigs in it, bits of pig, and he's one of the richest in Austria. Like what, But that's because he's clever. He's a publicity man, He's like. It's publicity. Like, have you ever tried one of these 99% cocoa chocolate? If you want to get rid of someone at a dinner party, perfect. Have you tried one of them?
No.
99%.
No.
This is great. Get rid of unwanted guests.
Oh, it's not good? It's no good?
It's so good because if you got someone you don't like, you give it to them, they run away. It's perfect.
Well, the chocolate that they put in, like baker's chocolate, whatever they call that, that's really...
compound chocolate, that's called. Yeah, compound.
What is it called?
Yeah. Compound chocolate is baker's, yeah. So that's... Yeah, you can get chocolate... For chocolate to be legally called chocolate, it must have cocoa butter. It has to have cocoa powder. So if you take those out, they can't call it chocolate. So compound chocolate is a chocolate-flavored product. So it's not actually chocolate. So it's really... But this is really interesting. Anyway, it's a bit legal, that one. It's quite complicated.
Okay, I need you to help me settle an argument. Okay.
Oh, God.
I have an argument.
I might have to come round with a bottle of champagne and chocolates.
There you go. That's perfect.
I have an argument that the cookie in the Oreo is not chocolate. Am I right?
That's a good question. That's a difficult one to answer. But the cookie is a bakery product, isn't it?
But
so it wouldn't have chocolate in it. It's just got cocoa powder. It's chocolate flavored.
Probably, but it doesn't even taste like. If you take I'm not saying it's a bad cookie. All I'm saying is it says 2 chocolate cookies with a filling or something, right? If you take the cookies apart and eat one of the little wafers, one of the half of it, and then you take a bite of a Hershey bar, it doesn't taste anything the same. It's totally different. It's like eating a piece of chalk.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like that's. The trouble is, sugar is cheap, It's the cheapest. If you want to make a top-selling product, you put tons of sugar in it. Sugar is addictive, according to, this is my opinion. So you put sugar in it, and then it's nice and cheap. So as long as you've got tons of that, people come back because it tastes good. So unfortunately, that's the way where the food industry's gone in a lot of areas. But at least chocolate, if you get a nice cocoa bean from South America, it's nice and fruity, and it's got lots of cocoa butter. You can actually smell it. If you like pick up a chocolate and you really smell it, you can smell the cocoa butter. A cheap chocolate will just smell vanilla-y and it'll be sludgy, and when you break it, it bends, it doesn't snap. Actually, I've got a chocolate here now. I can snap it if you like.
Let me hear.
Okay, here goes. I'm going to put the phone down and then we're going to snap it. Hang on.
Okay.
Ready for this? This is just so exciting. I'm irony here coming. Hang on. Right. Okay, here goes.
I heard the snap.
Oh, wait.
I heard the
snap. All right. Now let me compare the one you sent us. Let me snap this one. Are you ready? I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it up. See if you can hear this one snap. I bet you.
So much.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a good snap.
This is so exciting. I'm going to pass out.
You shared with us in the book that after your dad died, someone told you your life will be a sweet one. Be patient. What prompted that statement?
Oh, that's so good, Robin. Yeah, I'm so pleased you're picking these things out. Yeah, well, that was very interesting. I mean, just after my father died, okay, we're going to go get the violins out now, but it was a bad time. I was wondering what I was going to do with my life, and someone came round to the house and knocked on the door. And like sometimes you sort of see people and they kind of vanish. Well, this person came into a house, and she said to me, Angus, I'm going to tell you 3 things. I was only like 11 years old. He said, you're not going to pass any exams. You're going to America, and you're what was it? Yeah, you're going to America. You're not going to pass any exams, and you're going to have a sweet life. And then she started laughing, and then she vanished, and that was it.
Oh
So
my
like,
gosh!
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
And then like, look, I mean, I don't know if I guess some people heard, like you got all these angel books and visitors and this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm quite spiritual. Obviously, because my father died, so I kind of looking for other questions. So I guess that's what gives me my strength. I always listen to anyone, even if it's a bony lady knocking on your door on November the 5th.
She was bony?
She was weird. I tell you what, her fingers are like all bones. It's like, oh my God, what?
And you have no idea who she was? You don't know who she was? You don't know who she was?
No, she just disappeared. She vanished, and that was it. But funnily enough, because of her statement, when the bad times, she just said, "You're going to America." And then 2 months later, I had a godmother. She invited me out to Vermont, and I stayed there, and that came true. And she said a couple of other things, and that just kept me going. It's like, oh well, she said that. Yeah, I'm going to be okay.
Wow.
And so that's kind of. And she did say a lot of people would know my name, which is kind of weird, saying someone who's 10 years old. Like what?
Wow. I need a bony woman to come to my door.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, her fingers were like, like you watch those films and his hand comes round the edge, like, Jesus, even the dog's run away.
How do you and your wife raise your children to also be good nutritionists, even though, you've got this chocolate history? You have to have good nutrition in your life.
My wife is French, so we have like a sort of cross culture, which is quite nice. So I introduced her to chocolate, and she introduced to me to champagne. So after that, there was 5 kids.
Nice.
No so, but we love our children. We work hard. We work for our children, and that's what we do. I'm working hard to break out of my current mold to be a writer and an inspiration, and that's what I want to do because I can't afford the school fees. But, I'm really, really looking forward to a new life, and we love our kids and they love us, and we're very free with them. We let them go out, to nightclubs, and we just don't hold them back because I didn't have that in my life. I didn't have any parents, so I just did what I wanted. So I can't be a hypocrite. But we're good to them. We trust them.
You have a chapter in the book asking the question: will chocolate ever be? Will it go away? Will we run out of whatever we need to make chocolate? Is there any fear that might happen?
No, I think that has died down, so we can all breathe a sigh of relief. We can still sit back on the couch and have chocolate. I think, have you heard about crop failures? Well, this is getting big now. So, right now, where I am, but my kids are saying to me, look, Dad, the park is on fire, and this is Kent. It's green, always green. So I think I'm getting reports of, orange failure crops, lemons, nuts, and avocado pears, and because of the extreme heat, extreme weather. Anomalies. That's a word that I couldn't get out this morning. It's a jet lag. But so I think cocoa is not immune to that. And if the temperature goes up by 2.1%, the cocoa can't grow. So, but I think the whole of the food industry is I think food prices are unfortunately going to go up because of this.
And through your writing in your book, you're a very inspirational writer, and I imagine when you have your journalist hat on, also you try to look at all sides of the story to be fair everywhere.
I do. I think that's really important. I think you can't savor the good or bad chocolate. You can't even savor the good or bad person because you just have. Believe me, I've been through so many things. I've met so many people, and I think being inspirational is really coming from a higher energy where you can really help people and try and bring them together so they're not arguing with each other or they're not fighting over a football team or competing in business or politics, but they can come together. And I think for me, that's why I write. I want people to unite as one instead of fighting because people demand us to fight each other. It's a kind of, that's a bit of a deep one, isn't it? But but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty deep personally. I like to have fun, but I do think very, very heavily about things. Perhaps that's just the way I am. I'm just a bit odd. Some people play football and I write.
You found your lot in life, that's for sure. Angus Kennedy is who we're talking to. His book is called Bittersweet. I found it on Amazon, where currently you are number 30 in the agronomy category. I don't even know what
Oh,
I don't even know what agronomy
No,
means.
I don't either. I have to look it
Me
up.
neither. But it sounds quite comfortable anyway.
I have a copy of Bittersweet here. If you would call me, I will give it to you. You can't have the chocolate bar because I've already eaten a piece of it.
I'll do it. Take another one. You give me an Amazon review.
But you can have the book. And the rest of us have to go buy. I did find it on Amazon. Do you have a website you want to recommend?
Yes, I do. Yeah, actually, I've got a website. People can find all about me if they dare, and can get bored to death with that one. It's theanguskennedy.co.uk.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Angus, where are you? Did you say you were in New York?
I'm in New York, and then tonight I'm off to Los Angeles because I've been invited to film in one of those sets in Universal Studios, and I'm just pinching myself, Larry. It's like, what?
That's exciting.
This dream. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
And I'm just having 5 kids from Maidstone trying to pay the bills.
And
That's who I am. I'm never going to change. Well, hopefully the bills will be a bit easier soon.
and are your lungs okay now? I mean, after going through that infection, are your lungs all right, or do you have to be careful with that?
No, they're absolutely fine. As you picked up on, I'm very spiritual, so I kind of do some freaky stuff with trying to rejuvenate myself and heal myself, and so far so good, you know. I'm firing on all cylinders, and I think I'm kind of where I should be. I'm doing what I should be doing when I'm born. I'm speaking to you, we're having fun, we're cheering people up, and if we can do that, we're on the energy, and we just stay young, and we have all the energy in the world.
Oh, well, you've done that today with us. Thank you so much, Angus, for what you do and for taking time to be with us. Have a great trip to California, and thank you for everything.
And thanks for having me on. A great place, Daytona Beach. I love it. I've been to Florida, and I'll be back as soon as I get the opportunity.
Oh, excellent. If you're ever in this area, make sure you come and stay, do another interview in the studio this time.
Yeah. Bring chocolates.
Bring chocolate. Yeah, no, we'll have chocolate for you.
Yeah.
We have a great chocolate place right in our own town. Thank you, Angus.
Thank you.
We'll be
Bye.
right back.